Calling it elections countdown, 26 days to go to the polls. A lot is going on. There's a lot of the barbs and counter jabs and the campaign trail. We'd like to talk about that in just a bit. But I'd like to hear from you as well. At Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya, use the hashtag Daybreak. Let me introduce my guest real quick, beginning from my immediate left. Dr. Isaac Alua is here, party leader GTAP. Thank you so much for making time. Dennis Nthumbi is also here, public service and governance expert. Asante sana for making time.
Thank you, sir.
We're still waiting for Harun Ndubi, advocate of the High Court. As soon as he comes in, we'll rope him into the discussion. Let's start off with the dailies and see what's going on there. Standard front page, Raila Ruto's tough task to avoid a runoff. The race between two leading presidential contenders is tight. That's according to the opinion polls. And Raila and Ruto will now have to work harder to win over undecided voters to secure a first round win and avoid a second round face-off. On the other side of the Daily Nation, Uhuru says, I was soft, but Karua will jail the thieves. Politics in City Rally, the president admits that he chickened out on dealing with thieves and other crooks in his government, but promises that Raila's running mate will do the dirty job if elected to office next month. Dennis, I'll start with you on this. We should even be on the campaign trail, 26 days to go.
Thank you very much, Trevor, and good morning, viewers. I think the president should confine himself to presidential mannerisms and apply himself to utensils and articles in the Constitution that prescribe the disposition of which a president should be. Given the fact that I believe that looking at the Constitution, Chapter 6 of the Constitution, and Article 10.2 of the Constitution that prescribes the national values and principles of governance will implicate him. The truth is, we understand that as a personal, from a personal level, the president has a preference, but he cannot nationalize and mainstream his personal preference. Given the fact that for the next 3 weeks or so, until there's transition, he sits as the president. And for a nation that is divided still and healing from the wounds of economic meltdowns, high cost of living, we are a delicate economy and we are a delicate democracy. So I think from the days of Moi held himself with a certain decorum. Kibaki held himself with a certain decorum. But then we see a transitioning president who, number one, is behaving like though he's on the ballot, he's subject to electoral defeat. And number two, he's blaming his bad manners on everyone, technically. So the plea to President Kenyatta was, don't provoke Kenyans. I don't know what he wants to achieve, but certainly what Kenyans are going through, the pain that they are going through, admit what hasn't worked within your space. Yeah. And as a leader, take it in. And and this is a space that you apologize. This is a space that you become humble. This is the space that you realize that power is transient. This is a place that you realize you're transitioning into a civilian space where all these bravado and chest thumping will not be available. This is a space where you realize you're going to live with the rest of the other Kenyans for as long as God gives you. And I believe that he'll give you a long life. But this is not the time to pretend bad manners in the country. It is not the time to provoke Kenyans who are hungry, who are sick, who cannot put food on the table properly, and you have been their leader for the next 10 years. So I think that we understand that the president is supporting Raila. We understand that, given, and we respect that decision. But he must prescribe himself to presidential mannerisms within Article 10.2 of the Constitution. Yeah. And then Chapter 6 of the Constitution should not implicate him. We want him to retire peacefully, and we want Kenyans to transition to a place of prosperity. Okay.